Hey, how you doing? This is Craig back from StopDrinkingExpert.com. Today's video is all about why having the goal to cut back on your drinking may not be the best idea you ever had. I'll explain in a moment. Firstly, I just want to tell you I'm very excited. We've just launched and announced this year's list of Stop Drinking Expert live events. This is a quit drinking seminar that comes to you, or hopefully near you, and it is by far and away the most powerful, most effective solution to problem drinking I've ever created. Why is it so effective? Well, look, it's pure human nature. We can all buy a self-help book. Doesn't mean we're going to read it. We can all invest in an online course. Doesn't mean we're going to watch any more than the first video, because it's just in our nature, and I do it myself. I have probably 50 books that I've bought because I wanted to read and I wanted to learn about the content, and I never even opened them. They sit on my bookshelf full of good intentions. One day I'll read them, maybe. With the live seminar, you sit there with me in front of you and you have nowhere else to go. And if you get into that environment after a couple of hours, you get this eureka moment, you get this I get it moment. And that's a beautiful moment, because from that point on, you can actually see how you can live this happy, sober life. Now, look, you wouldn't believe how many times a week people make comments, people send me emails saying this is a scam. This has got to be a scam. It's too good to be true. There's no way you can do this. Quitting drinking is painful, dangerous, and almost impossible. And that is the myth that the drinks industry wants to keep propagating. Because what do drinkers do when they're stressed? They drink. So why not tell everyone that quitting drinking has to be miserable, painful, full of cravings, and a battle you can't ever win? Why not tell people that? Stresses them out, they drink more. Perfect. It doesn't have to be difficult, and there are thousands of people who've stopped drinking with my help who will testify to that. Anyway, if you're interested in going to a quit drinking seminar with me, check the website www.stopdrinkingexpert.com for the latest dates and availability, and you can reserve your tickets from today. Today's video is about why setting the goal of cutting back on your drinking may not be such a great idea. Now, whether it's the seminar or the online course, I get people approaching me all the time with alcohol addiction. The first thing they want to make clear to me is I don't want to stop. I only want to cut back, because I actually do quite enjoy drinking. After I've done that a few times, I get busy explaining to them why cutting back is much, much worse than quitting altogether. Because, let me explain this. The 5 most dangerous words one of my members who've quit drinking can ever say or ever think are, just one drink won't hurt. Just one drink won't hurt. If you ever think that, if you ever find those words coming from your mouth, you should slap yourself roundly about the face until you wake up and smell the coffee. Because here's the truth. Yes, you can make the decision to have one drink, but that will be where your involvement in the decision-making process ends. You only get to decide about the first drink. Every other drink after that will be decided by the evil clown that lives in your head that we call alcohol addiction. Because this is an exceptionally devious drug. And it has one goal, only one objective: to kill you. That's all it wants to do, to kill you. And you might think, well, that sounds a bit melodramatic, Craig. I see the beer commercials. Looks like everyone's having a good time. Seems like it's a nice social pleasantry, alcohol. Over 2.5 million people. In fact, you know what? It's even nudging nearer to 3 million. Die every year because of alcohol. Alcohol wants to kill you. It is its only objective. It is a poison. It is officially registered as a poison. If you buy it in its 100% proof form, it will come in a bottle with a skull and crossbones on it, because it's poison. Now, we're diluting it so we don't die instantly the moment we drink it. But would you drink bleach if it was diluted enough? Why would you? So this is a very devious drug, okay? And the first thing it does when you drink it is it lines up the next drink, whether you want another drink or not. Its first objective there is to make sure you have another drink. And it does that by various methods. Firstly, if you've been drinking for a long time, and most people who develop a problem with alcohol have, we're talking years, more likely decades, then one drink is not going to cut it for you. You have developed enough resistance that one drink is not going to get you the result that you're looking for. You're looking for that moment, yeah? That release from the anxiety, the craving. You want the craving to be released. Now, because you're so desensitized to alcohol, one drink, not going to do it. So actually, all it's going to do is give you a few minutes, and I really mean a few minutes, no more, of relief, and then the craving is going to come back, amplified 10 times. So now you've just made the problem 10 times worse. So you've got a huge amount of pressure on you now to have another drink, because now you feel worse than you did before you had the first drink. And you know, subconsciously, that if you just drink more alcohol, that unpleasant feeling will go away. You're in a very dangerous loop at this point. Now, let's just touch on let's go back to the poison element here, right? You might think, well, hang on a minute, Craig. If it's poison, why don't I feel ill the moment I drink it? It's a good point, because if you drank some cyanide, you'd feel ill instantly, yeah? Well, this is even more evidence towards the deviousness of this drug. You see, alcohol is a mild, very poor anesthetic. And what that means is it interferes with the parts of your brain responsible for processing pain and discomfort. So while it's not very good at it, what it does is it switches off the parts of your brain that would register that you've drank a poison. And this is crazy bad. As a species, we've evolved over millions of years by adhering and growing based on the prime directive of stay alive at all costs. The human body is a beautiful, amazing machine. It can detect poison. If you eat rotten food or swallow a poison, your body knows how to deal with it. And it sets off a series of events that say to you, in no uncertain terms, this is an emergency. You're going to deal with it now, whether you like it or not. The first thing it makes you do is feel terribly ill. Pain in your stomach, a retching sensation, you just feel terrible. And this is your body screaming to you, you're in big trouble, time to do something. Then you're going to start vomiting because your body says, right, full evacuation mode, we've got to get the poison out of the system, and it forces you to vomit the contents of your stomach. Alcohol switches this off too. People don't get sick when they have a few beers, do they? They may do the next morning when alcohol is no longer suppressing this section of the brain. You may wake up the morning after a skinful and feel terrible. You may feel like you've been run over by a truck. And this is because the alcohol has stopped reducing the pain, stopped preventing you from feeling ill, and now you have the full force of what drinking poison for fun feels like. So when people say to me, my goal is to drink in moderation, I think, why would you do that to yourself? Are you some sort of sadist? Are you a masochist? Do you enjoy pain? Limiting the amount of poison you drink is infinitely more painful than stopping altogether. So if you're coming to a seminar or if you're about to join the online program at stopdrinkingexpert.com and your goal is to moderate, might not be the best decision you've ever made. And I can prove this to you really quickly. Look on any alcohol container in the Western world, and the alcohol producers appear to have done their social responsibility bit. And they've kindly put a warning label on the bottle that says, drink responsibly. Drink in moderation. Now, why are they happy to do this? Why is this no problem for the drinks manufacturers? Because they know we can't do it. They know that alcohol-addicted people cannot drink in moderation. So that label does nothing than serve the politicians who need something to go to the voters with. Look, we're cracking down on alcohol. We've stuck warning labels on the bottles. Drink in moderation. Yeah, big whoops, nobody can. So, let's leave that video there before I get too excited. If you have any questions, of course, message me anytime. Craig@craigbeck.com is the email address. The website, www.stopdrinkingexpert.com. Thank you for watching. See you soon.